Well, I think people recognize that things will never be the same after COVID-19. What we recognized is that nothing really changed. And if we are going to evolve, we have to do it consciously. And I think now what's very interesting is a lot of our old systems may never be the same again. And so that's consistent with the new science, which says that we are not individual things competing for survival.
Welcome to Sube la Vibra, Lynne McTaggart. Lynne, thank you very much for being here with us in Sube la Vibra.
It's wonderful to be with you. Thank you.
It is amazing to have you here. The meaning of Sube la Vibra is raising your vibration. This is about this YouTube channel. Lynne, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am a journalist by background. I'm an author of 7 books. Many of them you may have heard of. They're international bestsellers. I guess I'm best known for books like The Field, The Intention Experiment, The Bond, and my latest book, The Power of 8. I also run a thing called The Intention Experiment, which is a worldwide experiment working with prestigious scientists around the world and my readers around the world, testing the power of intention to affect the world, affect and heal the world.
What you are doing is amazing, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Talk about this book, The Field.
Sure. This book began because I was very curious about why there were things like homeopathy and spiritual healing that seemed to work. I run with my husband a magazine called What Doctors Don't Tell You, and it's now an international magazine. And in the course of that research, back in the 1990s, I kept coming across very good studies of things like spiritual healing. And I kept wondering to myself, if you can have a thought and send it to someone else and make them better, that world works. So I wanted to find out why. And I assumed I was going to just talk to some of these scientists and they would explain to me that there are such a thing as human energy fields or something like that. We'd learn how it worked, I'd write it up, and that would be it. But that wasn't it. What I discovered was that each of these scientists, in their own experimental evidence, had created essentially the beginnings of a new science. And also scientists have a hard time relaying that information. You know, they speak in code, they speak in math. They also don't like to extend beyond their own experimental boundaries. So I realized before long that it was up to me to more or less decode this and to put it all together. So that's what I did in the field. I essentially mapped out what is the beginnings of a new view of who we are and how the world works. So it's really about the new science.
So right now we are in the perfect moment to talk about this with the coronavirus.
We are in the perfect moment to talk about this. Absolutely, we are. Well, I think people recognize that things will never be the same after COVID-19, that we are going to be embarking on a new journey. Now, many people have been talking about this for many years and talked about how we are evolving as though it's happening automatically, but it's not happening automatically. You know, they talked about that back in 2011. And as though, you know, we are going to automatically turn into something better. And they talked about that a lot after the 2008 crash. But really what happened is the banks got bailed out and everybody else went back to sleep, essentially. And so what we recognized is that nothing really changed. And if we are going to evolve, we have to do it consciously. And I think now what's very interesting is a lot of our old systems may never be the same again. And so that's consistent with the new science, which says that we are not individual things competing for survival, which has been the scientific story up to now, you know, and science essentially is the story we live by. And it's been that kind of a dog-eat-dog science. And now we're understanding that, no, we're part of a greater whole. The new science demonstrates we're all part of a giant quantum energy field. And that in order to live authentically, we have to be much more connected. We have to be much more cooperative. And we have to find a new way for our economy to exist so it is not I win, you lose.
Yeah, that's true.